conspiring to create insecurity in the country. For the avoidance of doubt, the government responds as follows. 1, that the government of Ghana, as a matter of policy and practice, does not bug the offices or homes of political parties and their leadership. Indeed, it is not the policy or practice of the government of Ghana to illegally interfere with the privacy or communication of persons or organizations in Ghana. To do so will be an infringement on the constitutional provisions of privacy. Government therefore finds it distasteful that the said party chooses to bring the name of the state into disrepute in its attempt to respond to queries about the validity and origins of the said conspiratorial conversation. The practice of accusing the state and seeking to portray to the global community of democratic watchers that the state is involved in some illegality, that practice is unpatriotic and has the potential to undermine the growing respect that Ghana has for its resilient democracy and respect for the rule of law. Now, while the Akufo-Addo administration cannot speak for past administrations, including the immediate past NDC administration, this administration does not and has not bugged offices of political parties, its key actors, individuals or organizations for that matter. Again, without prejudice to the admissions of the tape and its content by officials of the National Democratic Congress, including their deputy organizer, Mr. Kweku Boahin, and others, the Ghana Police Service has commended to be attached to the said recording. It is our understanding that the police investigation will also determine whether or not the leaders of the said party are indeed conspiring to commit acts to cause insecurity within the Ghanaian jurisdiction. We encourage all to support this investigation, preferably done with the support of the necessary international acoustic analysts, to determine the validity, identities, and the level of seriousness to be attached to the alleged conspiracy. Matters of security, ladies and gentlemen, are key to the cohesion and stability of the state, and therefore must be handled with the highest level of seriousness at all times, and government urges the security agencies to do so in this incident as well. The alleged conspiracy, if true, puts at risk politically exposed persons, families and associates of the government, women and children in Ghana. It also puts at risk state organizations such as the National Peace Council and the Electoral Commission. The necessary steps, therefore, to ensure that the security of such persons and institutions is upheld is currently being examined. Government takes very seriously any attempt to attack constitutional and legal entities like the Electoral Commission and the National Peace Council, or any conspiracy to deploy violence and panic, whether through kidnappings or through mob attacks using vigilante groups, or in general, any enterprise to create insecurity within the Ghanaian jurisdiction. And to this end, government will continue to resource and assist the security agencies to forestall any conspiracies to commit crime or acts that create a state of insecurity in our country. The capacity, the determination of the state to maintain peace and security and protect Ghana's enviable image remains unchanged, and the Akufo-Addo administration will not renege on its responsibility in that field. The government urges all stakeholders of our democracy to seriously take a dim view of any act that has the potential to undermine the nation's democracy. Leadership from across the political and civil society landscape should, as a matter of urgency, take a keen interest in complementing the efforts of the state in further deepening our democracy and our security. Government will continue to act in accordance with law and best practice in preserving the security and sense of security, and will deal resolutely with any persons or group of persons found culpable in any effort to undermine the sense of security in the country. The second brief, as I mentioned earlier, is that government welcomes any effort aimed at assisting in succeeding in the fight against illegal small-scale mining. Government has also taken notice of a documentary by Tiger IPI that suggests that it has uncovered acts that undermine the fight against illegal small-scale mining. Government will have the said tapes properly investigated using the raw and edited footage, and if any persons are found to have solicited monies or taken bribes to bend rules, the necessary action will be taken. Let me take these briefs quickly in tree, and then I'll take your questions and answers. Salam can and some for me no be or and pay a pesa yanemo any Ghana phone in Archer. The D kind say, and Wabia will be wow, the beboa buying ma or quia quetia onoma A2 a good year, essence you say assassin. Sa a cono yebedin kunimino. A buying I a crowd say, Obeso sa and wanimu edia juma. A buying an NTS Tiger IPI. Say omo documentary bia e kire se ebinom e koatia aban ekon no aban behwe ma sa tapes and sa recordings no their podcast my friend raw and edited footage no yensa ka na yaye emu hwehwemu na se yehu se obi akogigi anase akosresre sika Potokasa no yesi soliciting of money so bi e de adwuma ne din akogigi sika ana adwuma ne nti wakogigi sika ana se obi akogi adamudie se emra na ye de adwuma no obechinchim na de wasa ban ye wo ho no behwe na waye yetoso mienu aban so enya ne ntie se political party bako Ghana NDC se aban e de infidia koshisho om offices are recorded on meetings etwitwa meetings ne recordings ne de asisi ani se omompanifo ka asem bia omanka aban anoyie eni de dikan Ghana ban yen hyehyeye emma ho kwan se ye de mfidie ko hyehyɛ obi office anani fie anani ho amfa emra kwan so se ye de tietie ne nkoma odi wo yesa watia emra de tosu mienu omampani na nado dankwa ekufuado the administration no yentumi nkasa ma administration sa abesenko even including NDC administration abesenko but omampani na nado dankwa ekufuado administration no saade no enya de a yeye de tosu miensa se impo uyi esi nchen se NDC mpanimfo na nkasa bi te se omo deputy organizer wura kwakubu ahin Adia tum say enokre saa ensem na enenam social media ne ade ne enokre no wiye no mposi nchen a Ghana Police Service force o mafi investigation ase say omo hwe say asem no asem e wo so omo fa no seriously ana say asem a enya asem bia ompese omo hu nkofo a yesi omo di sa nkomo no na ompese omo san so hu say no kremu nkofo bi bopo se omubema ehu aba omemu ha a omu ebe yusu niema te se kidnappings any attacks on some of the institutions I wo memo ha say Peace Council, Electoral Commission and then nkeka ho eba no bambo sema aban toto na se eno nti na ene omampani adanko akufuado na administration any Ghana ban ye hye bambo adwumakuo no yesho omsapo mu nsuo omo cars ne omo niema omo hia ede aye adwuma aboye nyina ho ban no ye hwe ne aye ho adwuma na nya de a ye betoto no ase da sa ensam na enenam social media voices na enam social media na say no krea na kire say nwumakuo bi any nipa bi titru nkofobia ben o ma wa ben mu ene ade no e wo se ehwe o bambo no so krampo eyi na no so ya ade a aban afiase ehwe mu na ye pese yesre obi biara se yemmoa security agencies no na titru investigations or mo ye no bi wo information on fam mo na bio so kwan e betumi afa so abom na o madwuma na wie peye na bambo se ne yete o mamu ha se ejina ne na so no ya hwe ema no ejina ne na so weni nsɛmfo mienu a ɛna no pɛyi yɛne mo ne Ghanafoɔ nyinaa ɛkyɛ. I'll be happy to take your questions whether in English or in Twi. Maybe Pius will do the Ga and Ewe translations for us.
I did Dagbang the last time.
Oh really?
Right.
Yeah, maybe we'll add Dagbang to it. Melvin.
Good morning.
Morning.
If I get you right or I got you right, what you say is until you can investigate the videos, the unknown videos, you cannot see whether or not the actions that have been captured on the video are real. And then two, how long will it take for the investigation to be done and the findings to be released in the public?
I'll take the next question. Yes, sir.
Inviting civil society to see the dim view of acts that undermine our political security. Our political parties also invited to this team. My second question will also be on my last videos. Do you have access to the raw authentic videos and ask for them?
Yeah. Next question, please.
Okay. Was the latest announcement, was it a collaboration with government or it's something he decided to undertake on his own?
I also want to find out I also was Morgan Commission, the Evolution Commission. Will this video, the lead tape, be handed to them as it's fall under the ambit or government is going to handle it separately?
Let me give responses to these ones and then I'll take our next step. First, we don't give timelines for investigations because we do not have an idea of how long those investigations will take. What we do is that we ensure that the necessary resourcing and encouragement is given to those investigative authorities to quicken their actions and get to the bottom of matters as quickly as possible. Second, all actors, including political parties, are encouraged. You heard the President's State of the Nation address where he even encouraged political parties to engage and explore ways by which we can de-escalate on particularly the subject of vigilantism. So all actors are invited to participate in the exercise to deepen our democracy and security, and this would also include political parties. I'm sure that when the full investigation commences, access to the raw footage or the raw rashes will be requested and availed for the purposes of that investigation, because it is, I imagine, what will be the foundation for that investigation. I'm not aware of a government collaboration in this piece by Tiger IPI, and if any party deems it necessary to avail the Ayawaso West Wargon Commission of Inquiry with these tapes so that it forms part of their work, I'm sure that party will make an application to the commission, and the commission will determine whether it is a matter that it seeks to admit for their purposes. We've had some lawyers make applications to them. Some groups also, I think, express an interest to petition them to look into other matters. These are all matters for the commission itself to determine the admissibility or the lack of it, of material such as that. I'll take another set of questions. What's your name, sir? From? Sure, Mike.
Please, is the government considering of any legal action against the Tiger IPI for entrapping and making the corrupt and bad in the eyes of the
Yes, sir. You had a question.
Let's just say, she moved question that we say of my and I'm moving to a finance video. What I explanation will be
Okay. I've heard from you already. So
the available expose in the announced video, do you think the government must be concerned about some presidential staff and activities of some presidential staff?
okay.
Can I ask my question?
Yes, Melvin, you can go.
So you said you want to get access to the announced video to investigate them. Now I want to ask on the NDC side, on what basis are you forming your decision by calling on the CSO to condemn what has been said?
We haven't had CSOs to come there.
If I got you right.
No, please pay attention to the words that we have asked all actors, if you want me to read the words back at you, we have asked all actors to participate in the exercise too. The government is urging all stakeholders about democracy to take a dim view of any act that has the potential to undermine our democracy.
But it was in reference to that. And I'm asking on what basis are you saying this when you have not had whether it's real or not?
We are saying that all stakeholders of our democracy should take a dim view of any act that has the potential to undermine the nation's democracy, and leaders from across the political and civil society landscape should, as a matter of urgency, take a keen interest in complementing the efforts of the state in further deepening our democracy and security. That is a general call that we are making out there, just to put your question in the right perspective. Yes, sir.
Eric Stein, do you know if any action is being taken whatsoever in terms of the Interministerial Committee on Illegal Mining and then the Vanguard Task Force looking at what has come up in this experience?
Thank you. So those three questions, I think they all tie into one. And I think the answer, as I mentioned earlier, is that one, we welcome any effort that is aimed at assisting in the fight against illegal and irresponsible small-scale mining. Two, we are aware that there's this documentary out there. We've taken notice of this documentary, obviously based on some raw footage and some rashes. And what government will be doing will be to get access to these tapes so that you can do a proper investigation of all of these matters, whether it's of Operation Vanguard or of staff at the office of the task force or wherever. You want to be able to conduct a proper investigation and come to a certain position and act on it. It is the same with the first matter. That's why the police are also conducting a proper investigation, even without prejudice to admissions that have been made. That's why these investigations are necessary, so that you can come to a certain clear understanding and then take the necessary actions consequent to that. Yes, sir. What do you know? Sir, and not me explain. Sir, Omufi, and I say, Omufi has yes or no investigation to obviously, we power yes investigations, like veterans are friends, say material. Abain Sanka, and I say, Abain Ejubekwebes investigations, no. Oma Sanka, no more find no basis of our investigation, no. And only quite also, and I say, quite a fast investigation in any matter of this nature. Okay, he hasn't spoken, so let me hear from you first. Yes, sir. Oh, sorry. Which question is this?
About the government is going to consider legal action against
Why will government consider legal action on a matter that it is yet to be seized with the raw footage and to make a determination of? You first get seized with the raw footage or the rashes, you make a determination of it, and then you know the necessary action that needs to be taken as a result of it. Yes, sir. Satellite, right?
Yeah.
Yes, sir.
Some Muslims have popped up in the Hamas investigations. Must we wait until the investigation before they are brought to office? Are they going to continue to work or they're going to suspend them so that the investigations start or continue?
As I speak to you this morning, I'm not aware of any decisions on whether persons have been suspended or are being suspended. What I'm aware of is that government takes the subject very seriously, will seek to examine the rashes or the raw footage as part of a proper investigation and take the necessary action subsequent to that. Yes, sir. Editor.
One of the two keywords that you use, soliciting for money and then also taking bribes. Would these two come under, you know, the enhanced methods, entrapment? Are we saying that if we see mere exchange of money, if I'm just giving it out, you are not solicited, but I'm giving it to good constitutes, that's a crime and offense in this situation?
Thank you. What constitutes a crime or an offense is not for me to determine or for you to determine. The Criminal Code of Ghana, Act 179, spells out what constitutes an offense. What you are suggesting in your question is that the enhanced method is entrapment. Those are your words, not mine. We are not in a position to make that determination now. That is why it's important to examine the raw, rashes, or unedited footage and understand what has happened. But government takes the subject very seriously. We'll have a proper investigation done in accordance with the President's commitment that all of the necessary investigations need to be done anytime there's an allegation made against an officer or anybody in the system. And if that investigation establishes that somebody has gone contrary to the law, which is why I gave you a few examples, whether somebody was soliciting monies or somebody was taking bribes to bend the rules or some other form of illegality as part of this national fight, the President has always shown his commitment to deal with matters, and he will deal with them accordingly. Yes, sir.
Yeah, the vigilantism, the tape recording, the kidnapping and things like that, will they send signal to government? If they do, what steps do they going to take to make sure that police becomes small? Because application is point of fact that if we don't take care, security is going to be very tough for the
Well, every government's responsibility is first to provide for the security of the state. To that extent, you don't just give mere rhetorics that we're a peaceful nation. What you do is that you invest in the security apparatus to ensure that they can be up and doing. That is why you notice that the Akufo-Addo administration, since its assumption of office, has been investing. Just last week, the President presented the first set of about 130-plus vehicles to the military as part of an entire exercise to retool the military. He spoke about armored vehicles, I think Otoka armored vehicles also being made available to the military to strengthen the ability to deliver when it comes to protecting the territories of our country. You've also seen the administration resource the police quite recently with vehicles and other equipment that they require. And the administration will continue to ensure that our security agencies are properly tooled, properly trained, are given the freedom of hand to operate, so that without whose ox is God, any person or group of persons that seek to act in any way to undermine the security of the state or to create a state of insecurity are dealt with in good time.
I have a question.
Yes, sir.
You said that government is investigating with regards to the enhanced investigative fees. When you say government, which agency? Which agency of government is investigating?
So I haven't said government is investigating. I said government will have the said tapes properly investigated using the raw and edited footage. There are investigative agencies in this country, typically the police, if it's with economic crime matters, EOCO, etc. The appropriate security agency or the appropriate agency of state that is responsible for conducting this investigation, I'm sure, will soon be given the green light to commence looking into it. But the important thing is for everybody to understand that the state takes this matter very seriously, because it is a fight that the administration is very committed to. The media has been committed to. The people of Ghana are committed to this fight as well. And we welcome any support that will help us win this fight. If there's evidence out there that that fight is being undermined in any way, we consider it as helpful to the system, would look into it, examine it for what it is, and be able to take the necessary actions consequently.
My question is tied to his and then what you just said, the government takes it seriously. So are we waiting for the entire parts to be shown before we go in for the raw footages to begin?
When government is informed of a potential crime, we will not necessarily have to wait for it's airing on television or elsewhere, the wheels of the state will kick into gear. Yes, sir.
Honorable, once again, and once again, for someone that's on the platform, we asked the alleged that Anas was involved in the appointment of the current IGP. We still don't have access to that. We want to find out what is the news coming out today.
This is an allegation by who? No, I don't have any information on that. Yes, ma'am.
Yeah, so I want to know how government feels about Anas's latest decision. And this implies that government...
How government feels?
Yes. Government said it was very committed to save the fight against it, and yet we've seen a lot of a number of government officials being implicated. How does government feel about it? Are you perhaps embarrassed by it?
Government welcomes any support that is aimed at helping us to win this fight, because we are committed to this fight. If anybody has anything out there that would assist us to win this fight, we're happy to receive whatever anybody has, examine it, and proceed to take the necessary action of that. We are a nation of men of, may I say, different backgrounds who come together to work in pursuance of the state's agenda. And if anybody has any information out there that will help us, we're happy to receive it and work with it. I'll give you the final one and then we'll wrap up.
Yes, so do we know timelines? You said the rules of justice will begin, but do we know the timelines when this...
As I mentioned earlier, we will not give timelines for how long an investigation will take, because it's an exercise that is going to go on. But the point that I think we want to make clearly is that there's a documentary out there, there's some raw footage or rashes, obviously that served as a basis to it. It is a matter of interest to the state. The state would examine those and proceed to take the necessary action. I'll give you the final word and then we'll wrap up. Yes, sir.
Your ministry is also part of the internal.
That is so. That is so. That is so.
What's the status of the committee as we speak? Will it be dissolved? If it's not going to be dissolved,
work proceeds until we're told otherwise by our principals. Just last week, parts of the team were in other parts of the country, stopping some organizations that are still indulged in illegal mining out there. And I think this week they've even put some material out on what they are doing. So the work proceeds, the fight proceeds. If in the process of the fight there's information out there that somebody has undermined the fight, it's important to have access to that, to examine it, and to take the necessary actions. Yes, you are permitted.
Okay, how will you rate the government's performance in the fight against Galamsey? How well do you think the government has?
The people of Ghana will be the best judges of the kind of work that we are doing and the kind of commitments that we are showing on subjects like this. Thank you, guys. So please make the script available, and please let me beg of you. This is off record. Please let me beg of you, because sometimes even here we get elements of misquotations and misrepresentation of what we are saying. That's why we try to make the script available to you. We are very particular. This is off record, sir. Yeah.